Remember when One Direction released 4, their final album with Zayn Malik? Fans didn't know it, but One Direction released their last album with all 5 members in November 2014. With the record, Tilted 4, a possible foreshadowing of what was to come, Harry Styles, Liam Payne, Louis Tomlinson, Niall Horan and Zayn Malik dropped a 12-song record that ended up being the end of an era for the boy band. Every member of the group had a writing credit on the album, which offered them a chance to show off their more mature sound. The high-energy X Factor tunes were a thing of the past, as the boys were now singing about real-life romances, some of which were more public than others. Perhaps the most unforgettable song off this record is Stockholm Syndrome, which Horan is still performing despite the band members having their own solo careers. Look back with us as we break down the success of 4 and how it changed things for One Direction fans forever. One Direction was formed in 2010 on UK single quotes The X Factor, and while they didn't win the singing competition, the boys became a global phenomenon. Their debut album, Up All Night, was released in 2011 with a series of pop hits including What Makes You Beautiful. When it came to their sophomore album, Take Me Home, the boy band didn't really start to experiment with sound. But their slight maturity was shown with the matching outfits kept in the past. While Live While We're Young was the big pop hit on the album, the boys showed that they were able to veer in a different direction with songs like Little Things. The group's third album, Midnight Memories, became their biggest shift from their normal pop sound when it was released in 2013. With more rock influence, and Horan on the guitar, One Direction proved they were more than just a boy band when singing about their personal midnight memories and women who wear a little black dress. The biggest change, however, came with 4 in 2014. Fans just didn't know it at the time. The album era was kicked off with a song called Fireproof as the first single. The album received mixed reviews, with critics praising the group for finding their most mature sound. Things changed drastically for One Direction in the months that followed as Malik announced his departure from the group in March 2015. The remaining 4 members went on to release one more album, Mad in the AM, in 2015, before the band went on an indefinite hiatus. Why it was a big deal? At the time of its release, 4 didn't seem like that much of a big deal, albeit some fans do argue that it is the best One Direction album. The significance of the songs and their meanings became more impactful after Malik left the group. Initially, the title seemed like it didn't matter, they didn't need something catchy, because their 4th album would be just as successful as their last 3. Also, this album has the song You and I, which features a note that only Malik can hit. No, seriously, Styles attempted to on stage after Malik left the band, and his face in that moment said it all. The number 4 has since become rooted in One Direction fandom, because some have speculated that the title was a hint at what was to come within the group. What people said? It was previously stated that One Direction fans regard 4 to be the band's best album of all time. However, critics felt differently at the time of its release. Rolling Stone only gave the album 3 out of 5 stars, admitting that the record mainly shows growth through the music. In a separate review, Billboard called the album One Direction's awkward phase, explaining that both their traditional pop and more mature songs were melding into one. They also noted that the group missed the mark with their ballads, and as Real, Malik left the band. In March 2015, a statement released to the One Direction Facebook page changed the course of the group forever. Styles, Tomlinson, Horan and Payne were committed to staying together, but only for one more album. Their final performance as One Direction occurred on December 31, 2015. Where they stand now. Malik was the first to start his solo career and has since released 4 full-length albums. Styles came next with his debut solo song coming in 2017. He has released 3 albums since then. Horan has also kicked off a solo career with 3 records under his belt, and Tomlinson has released 2 albums. Payne released 1 full-length album in 2019 prior to his October 2024 death. The singer fell from a balcony at an Argentina hotel, killing him at age 31. After an investigation into his passing, his death was not ruled a suicide.